June 11th, 2026. Over 80,000 fans are packed into the Estadio Azteca. The noise is deafening. Flares are burning. It is the opening match of the World Cup, and the host nation is suffocating South Africa with relentless pressure. Barely 9 minutes in, South African midfielder loses the ball under a heavy press. It slipped into the penalty area, and Julián Quiñones strikes it low and hard through the goalkeeper's legs. The Azteca explodes. Quinones sprints to the corner, arms wide, instantly becoming the face of the nation's hope. But the striker wearing the green jersey and celebrating with the home crowd was actually born thousands of miles away. He grew up in a region where a football contract is the only fragile thread connecting children to the world outside. To understand why he plays with such direct, punishing aggression, we have to look at the scarcity that forged him. This is Magüí Payán, Colombia. It's a town of stunning natural beauty tucked into the Pacific coast, but it is also a place of extreme economic hardship and isolation. On March 24, 1997, Julián Quinones was born into a reality where survival is an everyday victory. On waterlogged dirt pitches, he played a style of football where strength and speed were mandatory. The ball was heavy, and the streets were mud. He learned to drop his shoulder and explode past defenders, because in those conditions, there was no room for hesitation. When he moved to an amateur academy in Cali, that hunger became terrifying for his opponents. During the 2014 season, he put up numbers that didn't seem possible, scoring 50 goals in only 38 matches. If you compare that output to a standard youth prospect, the gap is massive. Scouts from across the continent realized they weren't just looking at a talented kid. They were looking at a striker who played every match like he had a score to settle. That scoring record earned him a move to Tigres in Mexico at 18. But Tigres was a dynasty built on expensive, established veterans. Under a rigid tactical system, Quinones was often deployed out of position or relegated to the bench as an impact substitute. Despite winning titles in Monterrey, he remained a supporting actor in someone else's movie. He was a striker who needed to carry the heart of an attack, and he eventually found that opportunity in a club burdened by a 7-decade curse. Atlas FC was a foundational pillar of Mexican football, but they hadn't won a league title in 70 years. Their fans had spent generations watching the club succumb to a cycle of heartbreak and failure. Everything changed when manager Diego Cocca unlocked a new tactical approach. He paired Quinones with a traditional target man who stayed fixed at the top of the formation. He then gave Quinones total freedom to roam, using his pace to attack whatever space opened up. While defenders focused on the physical target man, Quinones was a blur in transition. He would receive the ball on the sprint, bulldozing through defensive lines that simply weren't equipped to track his movement. The strategy ended 70 years of agony. In the 2021 Apertura final, Atlas finally lifted the trophy, sparking an emotional explosion that reached every corner of Guadalajara. He didn't stop there. He led the club to a second consecutive championship, a historic bicampeonato. He was no longer just a prospect. He was the undisputed king of the league. By carrying a suffering fan base to glory twice in 1 year, he proved he had the mental toughness to handle the highest pressure in the country. That toughness was tested when he joined Club America, the most demanding team in North America. At America, you are either a champion or a failure. There is no middle ground, and the media scrutiny is constant. He thrived in the pressure cooker. He spearheaded the attack, winning yet another back-to-back championship and securing his 6th total Liga MX title. He had conquered Mexican club football completely. But as the 2026 World Cup approached, he faced a choice that would define his legacy. Both Colombia and Mexico were interested in his international services, and he had to decide which shirt he truly belonged in. He chose Mexico. He told the press that the country had opened its doors to him when he was just a kid. He had bled, suffered, and triumphed there, and he intended to defend that flag with his life. Even after committing to Mexico, his journey took another turn. In 2024, a Saudi Pro League club made a record-breaking $16 million bid for him. He became the most expensive player ever sold by a Mexican club, moving his family to the Middle East. Skeptics argued that moving away from the intensity of North American football would soften his form and cost him his spot on the national team for 2026. But on the opening day of the World Cup, as the Mexican anthem roared through the Azteca, all those doubts were silenced. His ninth-minute goal was a masterclass in predatory instinct. He read the nervousness in the South African defense and punished it with the same clinical precision he's shown since his youth in Cali. Later in the match, he showed his evolution as a leader, orchestrating a sequence that led to the second goal and a comprehensive 2-0 victory for the host nation. From the mud pitches of Magüí Payán to the summit of global football, Julian Quinones' journey shows that identity is an act of willpower. The boy who had to leave home to find his destiny became the hero of a nation that claimed him as its own.